Most of us use social media on a day-to-day basis. We post our selfies where we can always call someone. We can always post a tweet at any one given time, at any place, whatever we want to say, and however we want to say it. However, now that has sadly come to an end. And the reason for that is because the Computer Misuse Amendment Act 2022 has now been passed. Just yesterday, which was 13th October 2022, the president of Uganda, who was President Museveni, has finally signed the bill and a number of other 3 bills, which have now caused a lot of controversy, and now everyone is waking on their toes. They're always shivering. Even when you're going to post a tweet or even post a mere caption on social media, you're now scared for your life because there's now a big brother, a big eye always watching you to see what you're going to post. And now I'm going to show you how exactly liable you're going to be for such consequences. So welcome everyone to Simply Legal. My name is Terry Kahuma, and today we're going to talk to you about the Computer Misuse Amendment Act of 2022 and what consequences come along with it. Let's go. So welcome back to Simply Legal, everyone. My name is Terry Kahuma, and usually I'm in high spirits, but this time around I'm not happy because I'm a fellow content creator. I use social media on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis, and currently I'm not so happy with what this new Computer Misuse Amendment Act represents. Honestly, I think it's something that is a bit tailored to suit certain parties because the already existing Computer Misuse Act of 2011 was already in existence, and it was curbing a lot of these ill manners that people were already portraying on social media. But now to curtail and to hinder someone's words that they're going to use on social media or whatever they're going to post, I mean, honestly speaking, now speaking to you, the very Ugandan, from my heart, we have used social media for a very long time. Social media came since about 2009, and no one would be able to tell you what to do, or no one would be able to tell you that you cannot post this at whatever time you wanted to post it. However, with the new amendments in the Computer Misuse Amendment Act, things have now really changed because it capitalizes on 3 major things. It capitalizes on spreading hate speech, that's number 1. It capitalizes on data privacy and protection, and also it stops anyone from sharing information which concerns a child without consent from their parents. But the major thing which is affecting everyone is the certain clause in the amendment which talks about not posting anything or not publishing anything which promotes hate speech. Now, honestly, the Computer Misuse Amendment Act of 2022 is a bit redundant. What does redundant mean? It means that it's like repeating yourself. You're coming to do something which you've already done before. The Computer Misuse Act of 2011 is already there to curb and give consequences for whatever is happening in the Uganda social media space. That is why, honestly, everyone is calling this act the social media bill. Honestly, this bill was run by one Honorable Nsereko, who has been aggrieved so many times because, as we all know, all over social media, he has been humiliated and embarrassed many times. So he was a major champion of this bill, and that's why I think it's more political targeted towards people who do not want to be answerable for their crimes. Now, don't get me wrong, I am all for everyone behaving all over social media. You need to behave, honestly, even you people who are complaining that the bill is affecting you. You need to mind what you post all over social media because this may also come in as a check in that you'll not insult anyone. But however, that goes vis-a-vis the right to freedom of speech and expression. For those of you who are new to Simply Legal, the right to freedom of expression and speech is stipulated under Article 29 of the Constitution, in specific Clause 1. Now, the framers of the Constitution and all constitutions everywhere have the right to freedom of speech and expression as a fundamental right. That is something that someone cannot take away from you. I mean, it's not a derogable right, like it's not something that you must be born with and no one can take it away from you, but it's something that is fundamental in our democratic society as we speak. All over the world, freedom of speech and expression has always been valued like a diamond. Now, this very diamond, which is your phone, can now no longer give you cannot express yourself freely in accordance with this act. In relation to freedom of speech and expression, social media is now a part of our day-to-day lives. Now, with the now Computer Misuse Amendment Act, you can no longer express yourself the way you wanted to. You can no longer put someone to trial on Twitter, because that is where the power of the people is. Now, if you limit someone on a day-to-day basis, it's a bit cumbersome. It makes someone living in Uganda very difficult for someone to live in Uganda. That's what I would say. Because I was really looking at the new act, and I was looking at the penalties. You can imagine, for spreading hate speech, you're liable to a term of about 5 years imprisonment and a sum of 60 million Uganda shillings. Now that is going to be it's horrendous. It's something that most Ugandans can't even afford. So if I'm going to post a hate speech on Twitter, or something that is going to amount to hate speech, then what's to say that for me I didn't see it as hate speech, but for you saw it as hate speech? The new clause in the amendment does not even explain what hate speech really is in the first place. So that's why many people are having a lot of backlash towards this act, because it doesn't clearly stipulate. Like, for example, as a lawyer, I'll give you my big example. When I look at the Penal Code Act and I look at the crime of murder, murder gives you ingredients to what constitutes a murder. For example, there must have been intention to kill the person, there must have been harm, you must have used an unlawful, harmful weapon. So you see, there are things which constitute to murder. However, with promotion of hate speech, when I really scrutinized that act, there was no specific ingredient, or there was nothing to amount to there was nothing that amounts to what makes hate speech. So meaning they can arrest anyone at any time. So you're either going to pay a fine, or you're going to go to jail, or you can even do both. That is the major thing that is affecting everyone. The other bills are not affecting anyone. The Mining Act and the others, no one is actually even paying attention to that, to be honest. But I'll cover that in a different video. I mainly want to talk about this redundancy of this act. It's not really relevant in today's Uganda. We have so many things that we need to be paying attention to. All in all, that means that our democracy is really on the lifeline, like it's literally on drip, like us Ugandans like to say it. So I don't think this is the right step to go as a country, because to bring a Computer Misuse Amendment Act, which is going to basically state what it has been stating before, is wrong, because that is redundant. I mean, we have so many acts that we can put in place which are actually going to drive our country to a greater and more prosperous Uganda. But to try and curtail and control whatever people are stating on social media, I don't think it's the right thing to do. We are literally killing our freedom of speech and expression under Article 29 of the Constitution. But I can only speak as a legal person. This is my basic legal opinion. And thanks so much for listening to me, everyone. My name is Terry Kahuma. This video is a bit disappointing than the normal ones, because I thought we were going better and bigger and further as a country, especially judiciously. But let's just see where everything goes and unfolds. So thanks so much for listening to me. Let's hope for a more prosperous Uganda, and I'll see you next time. Bye.